Hi Paul, great to meet up with you on the range. Just to recap on the session that we did regarding mainly your leg action and the effect that that has on your ability to control the path of the golf club. If we look at the main footage on the left, from face on we can see the ball forward in the stance, so therefore you're going to be attacking it later in the golf swing. So the lines that are on here to illustrate the centre of your swing and the circle that we swing in. In order for us to attack the ball from the inside without manipulating the club too much, we must move the hips in a linear way during the downswing. And what we tend to see with players like yourself, because we've watched Tiger for the last 10 years, we see a quick clearing of the hips, very little lateral movement, and as we come through the hitting area we can see that the left hip never gets out in front of us. And the only way we're going to keep that club coming from the inside now is by hanging onto it and hanging onto it. And any player who hangs onto it, trying to keep the chest facing away from the target, is going to start to look very narrow. You can see the head moving back now as we approach impact, hanging onto the angles, elbows dividing, very stuck position as we get to about waist level. When looked at from down the line, what we tend to see, we've got Tiger Woods and Hunter Mahan, one a straight drive of the ball, one not so straight. If we take a little look at Tiger and see what happens again, he's not going to move laterally enough. He's going to get that right knee shooting out forward of where it was at address. He's got to keep his chest facing us to stop that club getting too much out in front of him and across the line. Remember what we're discussing, we're trying to hit a draw, but we're trying to clear the hips to get the club out in front of us. Now that won't work. If that club's out in front of us, it's going to work left and we're not going to draw the ball from there. So as Tiger gets into delivery, we're going to see a club head that's very much behind his hands. We've got that stuck position and we've got the right knee much more flexed than it was at address, with the right heel very much popping up in the air. If we compare that to what we're seeing with yourself, we're going to see a very similar sort of move. From a good top of the backswing position, we're going to see that right knee shoot out in front of us. As we do that, the hips are clearing. You can see the arms now really want to get way out in front of us, like we're going to hit a cut, but we're trying really hard to keep that club on the inside. And as we approach delivery, the red line here indicating the position of the club head very much underneath you at that point. If we take a little look at what we see with Hunter Mahan, we're going to see a totally different action. We're going to see that right knee not shoot out in front of him quite as much. We're going to see a little bit more movement towards his target with his hips. You can see the right knee never gets in front of the position it had at address. So it's never more flexed than it was at address at any point during the swing. And as a result, you can see the club there much more on line with his hands as he's coming into the hitting area. The club coming from the inside due to the lateral rotation, not due to keeping his chest facing the screen, if you will, or facing the camera coming into impact. You can see Hunter Mahan much more on top of it with the shoulders, everything much more lined up here as opposed to what we see with Woods. Very shut off with the shoulders. There's a big right or a quick left when we get in that position. From this position, Hunter Mahan's going to get the legs now straightening as he uses the ground to push up and generate extra power with a lower exit of the arms coming through impact. What we're going to see with Tiger is we're going to see that same straightening of the legs, but we're going to see the club exit much higher as he tries to rescue the club, the ball, and get it to come back to his target. So what we've got you working on here is a drill where we're going to keep the right leg straight during the backswing or during the swing, so completely straight. And what we're going to see now is I put the red line in line with your left knee, which is where that right knee would be at setup. Right knee very straight at that point, obviously because of the drill. We're going to keep it straight during the downswing. We can see now it starts to return to where it would be at setup. Much more chest on to the ball, club much more in front of you by default, shoulders much more in sync with what the arms are trying to do, club head in line with the hands, much less cramped and stuck look to it at that point. And as we come through the hitting area, arms work across the body, club exits very low into a nice finish. And if we take a little look at your follow through on both swings, we can see here that we've had much more hit clearance on this swing than we have on this swing. So it's a balancing effect, Paul, with too much clearance, not enough linear movement. So by straightening that right leg up, it's going to give you a lovely feeling of moving forward during the downswing and give you a fantastic feeling of what the right knee should actually be doing through impact. Good luck with it, and I'll speak again soon. Work again in a couple of weeks' time. Well done.